As long as people have crossed the oceans, we have looked for faster, better ways to do so. And 2023 may have heralded another sea change. Electrification is coming to the marine industry, promising a cleaner, quieter way to travel. Not all revolutions are boisterous and chaotic. Some are virtually silent.
Actually, the only thing you're really hearing is the sound of the water and the waves, and the sound of the electric motor is pretty negligible.
You may never look at or hear an outboard engine the same way ever again. Electrification is coming to the marine environment, and it's coming fast. It's going. Bristol, Rhode Island-based Flux Marine is making electric outboards with available models up to 100 horsepower. John Lord is Chief Technology Officer and one of 3 co-founders of Flux.
Electrification is really prime for kind of that coastal boats or nearshore lake boats, when actually kind of the average day of boating is only around kind of 10 to 15 miles.
The idea behind the company took shape back in 2015 when John and Flux CEO Ben Sorkin were both studying mechanical and aerospace engineering at Princeton and began exploring the idea of an electric outboard.
We're one of the very few companies who's truly developing something from the ground up. Whereas we're not taking a legacy combustion outboard and gutting it and putting electric vehicle components inside.
Yes, there are battery packs where the gas tank would be. And yes, the outboard attaches to the boat like any other. But most of the technology is proprietary and secretive. Chief Operating Officer Dalen Franton, who brings a business degree to the founding group, grew up with Ben tinkering on boats in the summertime. They both wanted to solve for some of the pain points of boating: maintenance, fuel costs, and repairs.
And for us, it's really about making that process simpler. So really lowering the barrier to entry into actually owning and maintaining and taking care of a boat.
Charge time is about 6 to 12 hours, and battery life depends a lot on how you drive the boat. It may not work yet for long offshore fishing trips, but it's more than enough for how most recreational boaters operate.
We like to say it's good for a full day of boating, but it really depends on how you use the boat. But if you start thinking about inshore, coastal, lake, reservoir, river, bay, it's more than enough on a boat about 25 feet or below.
If you're looking for an even quieter way to cruise on the water, you could opt for legacy technology: sailing. In Gloucester, which is celebrating 400 years as America's oldest seaport, preserving the historic age of sail also preserves the cultural identity of the community. Justin Dimitri is historian at the Maritime Gloucester Museum.
We've just gotten to the point where this era is escaping living memory. There's very few people, if any, that recall those last days of the fishing schooners. And it happened very quickly. If we didn't have vessels like this, we would lose a really important part of that story.
The museum offers experiential education, including a program for every 3rd, 4th, and 5th grader in Gloucester. Michael DeCoster is Maritime Gloucester's executive director.
What we do here is we give them that connection to all these things that have mattered, that are imbued in us. You know, it's been 400 years of being a fishing community, a schooner community, a seafaring community. We've had an intricate connection to the ocean, and we are working very hard to make sure that that doesn't go away by training the next generation of mariners and marine scientists.
There was a time when no schooners were left in the harbor. Slowly, they have come back. Ships like the Lannon, built in 1997 by legendary shipbuilder Harold Burnham. It was built as a charter vessel for a local named Tom Ellis, whose son Heath now runs the business.
We started this business to really keep this 1903 time period alive. The fishing industry is, still here, but getting less and less all the time, so we wanted to maintain that piece of history.
The tradition is also maintained through the Gloucester Schooner Festival, which will hold its 39th event at the end of August, drawing schooners from all over for a series of events and sailing. Daisy Nell Colliston founded and chairs the festival.
What this is important for is it's a touchstone to people whose maybe grandparents, great-grandparents fished under sail. And that's what put Gloucester on the map as a fishing port that built the economy of this country when this was still a new country.
As for boat builder Harold Burnham, who took us out on the Isabella, which he also built, seeing the ships under sail on a perfect summer breeze is everything.
To see these boats sailing and see people having a good time on them, and particularly to see the young people learning and taking this in their own way, it's really nice to see.
And back to Flux Marine, a boat with one of their engines is currently about 15 to 20% more expensive than a traditional outboard boat. But they point out that what you pay up front, you save on the back end, since maintenance, winterization, and repairs are negligible, and of course, you are not paying for gas. Up next, a different kind of rock star.